Hey there, I'm here with Candie Cooper, and Candie, you brought not only a gift that we're gonna make, but the box too.
You got it, start
and look
to finish.
how cute this is, double stacked like that.
Thanks, I especially love it because the gift matches the box. So you can keep that, store them in there. You know, it's
Perfect.
a total package.
So how are we getting started?
So the first thing we're gonna do is work on the box part a little bit. This is some mat board.
And for people who aren't familiar with mat board, can you tell us what it is?
Mat board. You know what? You are better.
I was
going
gonna
to
say it's literally.
I don't know. I
literally
just decorate it.
Framers use, you know, when they're matting photos. And originally, artists started taking it because they cut away the inside of the mat, and there were these leftover pieces that the framers weren't using. So it's a little bit heavier, you know, something a little sturdier, perfect for a box.
Yeah, and you get some nice edges with it.
I was also gonna say your nice rough painting here.
Thank you. But you can decorate this however you like. Spray dye. Let's see.
With a little bit of glitter in it, something fun.
And I'm just like doing whatever I want. You can use colored pencils, like really anything goes. Paint, glitter.
You can collage on it,
collage.
Whatever you feel like. And
Right.
I know that you have one here that first layer is already dry because it's all about the layers.
Right. So now I'm gonna leave you, I've got some rubber stamp permanent ink. Do you mind putting that on there while I work on the
mind
gift?
stamping? I love stamping. I'm happy to do that.
Okay, so perfect. So now I'm gonna jump over here and make a little leather pin and earrings to go with it. I'm using this die cutting tool, super easy. I've got my magnetic dies, and I'm just gonna lay my leather on top, put my layers together and run it right through the machine.
And now you're gonna cut that first initial sort of flower shape.
That's right. This is gonna be the base to our little pin. Pins are in right now. I'm loving it.
Well, the other thing I like about leather is that it doesn't fray.
Right.
Like if you use something else, and so that makes it really easy to have like that hard and soft thing that's so popular in jewelry right now.
Right. So the next thing I did is I cut some other little shapes. Like I cut some little pieces for earrings. I used this concho one to cut a top piece for the flower.
Keeping a flower theme, using some of the same colors. Okay, what is that spiky thing?
Okay, so now this is like a leather hole punch. You could use it for lots of things, but it's a leather hole punch. And you can see I just put a hole right onto it. So
you can actually cut through both layers at the same time.
Totally. And then I went ahead and got, these are just scrapbooking brads. I love them because they come in so many different.
I know, they've gotten so fancy now. I've seen things with dangles and all sorts of fanciness.
Dunsies.
It looks great.
Thanks.
And certainly you could use that not only as a pin, but you could use it as part of a necklace. You could use it as a package embellishment. You could use it as a scrapbook embellishment. You could use it, you know, for so many things.
Right. And so I went ahead and just trimmed it. You could put a little piece of leather over that, or you can just be lickety-split. Use a little bit of multi-purpose adhesive, put a bead of adhesive down, and then you're just gonna make sure that you glue your back at the top half of your
Because otherwise it will flop over is my assumption.
Right, it'll flop forward. All of us have seen like a pin that's flopping.
Yeah, or I was gonna say, like, even when you have real flowers in a boutonniere or something like that, the way that they put it together is always so that it doesn't sort of fall forward for you.
So then I'm making the earrings in the exact same fashion.
And you put a brad at the center.
And then this time I'm just using a tiny hole punch. Perfect. And these are cool kidney ear wires, because if you don't know lots and lots about making jewelry, all you have to do is punch your hole, hang it in.
Well, you know what I like too so much is that you don't need like a little stopper at the back of your earring hook because it's just automatically on. I think I may have overstamped this.
You might have overstamped.
I've taken my responsibility very seriously, and
it's okay. It's okay. It looks good.
It may be a little overdone.
So this is going to be a fun package.
Well, the other nice thing is I know we're going to cut it up, so I didn't feel like I had to do some sort of artistic, you know, thing, because that's one of the benefits of cutting things up is that when you take a smaller piece of something, it often looks better than the larger piece.
Love it. So now, oops, gotta move this guy. So now I'm putting my piece of mat board face down on top of this die, and we're gonna cut some box pieces.
And why are you putting it face down?
That is because we need to, the die actually scores as it goes through. So you want the pretty side to be scored.
I see, so that it'll fold nicely.
You got it.
And of course, scoring is something you can also do with a bone folder if you don't have a die or something like that.
Isn't this cool? So this die, we don't need all these parts. We're gonna use the largest size. But you can actually make, you know, like 3 different sizes.
I see, and those are those score lines that are just folding right there.
Yep, and I actually made 2, one for my earrings, one for my pin piece. So you just get this thing all scored, And then we're gonna put some tape on here.
So you're not using a liquid adhesive, you're just using like a tape runner.
I'm just cheating and using
Well, I was going to
tape
say,
runner.
one of the nice things is that I have found when you're working with lighter things as opposed to mat board, if you're working with just like regular cardstock, you often have to use a liquid adhesive to keep it rigid and steady enough.
Right.
But if it's already heavy, oh my gosh, that's not the way I thought you were going to put it together.
I know,
at
it's a
all.
this is a magic trick. So then you want to just make sure that all your edges are lined up, and then we're going to put some adhesive on here.
Okay.
And before long, you've got a box or 2 or 3, one for your earrings, one for your pin.
One to just display.
One to just
because
look
it's
at.
so overstamped and beautiful.
Yeah, let's see how our box patterns matched up too. I'm like loving.
It's a little bit of Candy and a little bit of
I
Julie.
like it. It's a nice it worked
It has
out
a kind of
beautifully.
contrast, and yet there's rhythm because it was based on some of the same stuff. There you go.
So cute.
So we're going to actually put our little gift in there, and then I know you have some finishing touches.
Finishing touches that we can just talk about with the one over here, like a little bit of ribbon, some feathers. Make sure you wrap your brooch and earrings up in some tissue paper.
Because
Drop it in there, because that's presentation 101, tissue paper.
I was gonna say, is there a practical reason? I mean, there is sort of. You want to have that cushion, especially with a pin back or something like that. But also, yes, put a
the
little
crinkle
tissue in
factor.
there to look pretty. This has been awesome. I'm really excited, and thanks so much for all these gifts.
Thank you. Well, you're welcome.